Who would have thought a Packers fan would want to do another Packers rebuild? But of course, this Packers team right now is really in a dangerous spot as they are losing to teams. Not that I'm going to say the Giants or the Jets are bad, but the way they're losing to teams like the Giants and the Jets is what makes it a dangerous spot, specifically that loss to the Jets. And right now, there's in-house fighting, there's scheme issues, there's players not doing what they're supposed to, and it's a disaster. This is a team that could be drafting top 10 for all we know if things don't turn around. And honestly, as a Packers fan, this might be the worst season I've seen from them so far ever. You know, the Packers have had seasons where they went 4-12 or 6-9 and whatnot. 6-9-1 anyways. But those seasons weren't bad seasons. Those are just seasons where, you lose by a couple of points. It's an unfortunate loss. They were competitive. These games, they're losing in the worst ways. They're winning in the luckiest ways. You beat a team that's coming in, the Patriots, with Hoyer. They're like, what is our chances? And then Zappe comes in, and it's like, what? I mean, they're going to be down to their punter, their kicker soon. Not that Zappe doesn't look okay with them already, to be honest, but there's just no game plan for him coming into the game. Green Bay stack in the box. They still can't stop the run. They are the worst run defense team in the league, and it's crazy. Of course, I will say last game against the Jets, Joe Barry definitely stepped it up quite a bit, even though they still gave up quite a bit of points. Block punt for a touchdown doesn't help, but special teams literally had the same situation against the Niners, speaking of, right on our screen here, where they gave up, a block punt touchdown and got a field goal, which should have been a chip shot, blocked. This special teams is just terrible. It's terrible. It doesn't matter which coach they bring in. It's just a terrible special teams. The defense looks awful. Quay Walker, I know he's young, he's a rookie. He looks like a really, really bad pick so far. Devonte Wyatt isn't good enough to get on the field, apparently. Amari Rodgers, he's barely a special teamer at this point. Randall Cobb got hurt, so he had to come in and he got a catch. I mean, there's nothing going good right now in Green Bay. The yards per carry for these running backs that once was so great has dropped tremendously. Christian Watson can't stay healthy. Dobbs, he can't even freaking run the right route half the time. Rodgers is seeing ghosts. I mean, there is nothing good going on here right now. The blocking has been porous. The only positive is Tanyan looks like he's back to full strength. That's really it, but right now this roster's all over the place because I changed some positions. But what I want to see from Green Bay, and I'm going to be doing myself here, is I want David Bakhtiari at left tackle, of course. Ellen Jenkins at left guard, where he originally, was playing ever since he was drafted. Runyon at right guard, Myers at center, and then Nyman at right tackle or Zach Tom at right tackle, because Royce Newman is not good. He is the worst starting lineman in the league. I don't care what anyone says. He is the absolute worst. Al Lazard, of course, he's been okay. His hands have been pretty good this year, but once again, he's a stiff route runner. He's not a good route runner. Kenny Clark has been pretty dominant. Devondre's looked a little lost at times. Gary has been outstanding. Pressman Jair is unfreaking beatable. And then Amos has been a super strong hitter. Preston Smith at least has played. Savage last week against the Jets actually looked pretty good, but overall has looked really bad. Otherwise, Stokes hasn't looked great. Rasul Douglas has looked slower than ever, but he's still made a few plays here and there. Dean Lowry's looked okay. Reed has actually been a pretty decent addition to this team, but overall, this is a team that is playing so below their talent level. It's unbelievable. Devonte Wyatt, he's telling us that he is here to be great, and he gets one of two camp breakouts. We'll take it. Which, ironically enough, I thought him and Quay were camp standouts, but not really seeing that in the regular season. And here it is. The Packers, they're fed up. The receivers, they're not getting open. They're running the wrong routes. The pass game sucks. Teams are stacking the box because they don't respect the pass game. They're going to trade with a team that is going nuclear on their roster. Thoughts of trading Christian McCaffrey. Thoughts of trading DJ Moore. They're apparently true. Pick 17, a 6th next year and a 7th this year from Green Bay for DJ Moore is without a doubt fair. Of course, he's struggling a little bit this year, but you look at what Marquise Brown went for when you consider, how much he struggled technically last year compared to, what DJ Moore is so far up to. And, I mean, it's pretty fair. Of course, DJ Moore automatically becomes the best receiver here, and he's got enough size to be the X receiver, if you will. So we're going to have him as the number 1, Lazard at number 2, Dobbs at number 3, and the guy that can't stay healthy, Christian Watson, at number 4. It's basically like a level of health of who gets to start here, basically. All right, contract re-signings. A team that is insanely broke, trading for a top-tier wide receiver. Obviously, you're thinking, well, that's kind of a dumb decision. But with the way Elgton Jenkins has played, specifically at tackle, do you even re-sign him? You know, once upon a time, he was a guy that you're thinking, wow, this guy is really talented, could play anywhere across the line. But this year, especially at tackle, I don't know if that injury just really changed him, but he has insanely struggled. Amos has looked pretty good, but once again, there's always going to be casualties of the cap, especially when you have a guy like Rodgers taking $50 million a year pretty much. You know, you're going to be losing guys like Amos and Tanyan and Lazard probably and Watkins and Cobb and Dean Lowry and Jaron Reed. And, you know, you're going to be losing a lot of these guys, sadly. And, you know, that's what happens when you want to complain about the talent around you, yet you don't want to take a pay cut, especially when we see the way you're playing this year is nowhere near $50 million per. All right, headed to the playoffs, and the team has actually turned it around quite a bit. What? 62-14. We know that Lions defense is bad, but is it that bad? Wow. Okay, well, the Vikings, they're in the playoffs at 9-8, and wow, that's something. That is actually crazy. We did turn it around pretty nicely here, beating the Bills and the Cowboys. I freaking hope so. I just want that Cowboys game. Any other game, if we lose every other game, but then we win the Cowboys, that's all I want, baby. See what kind of game this was. 6 touchdowns from Rodgers. Jesus, man. Well, let's see. Rodgers finishing with 41 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,900 yards. I think with the start of this team, I don't think he's getting anywhere nearly 5K yards. He'd have to put up some insane games. Aaron Jones, 5.1 yards per carry. Hey, they actually started running the ball with him. I guess the affair he's having with Matt LaFleur's wife or whatever is officially over, and Aaron Jones is getting touches now. That's pretty cool. 12 touchdowns to 8 for Dylan. Receiving DJ Moore, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Lazard with 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Romeo, look at that, 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Tanyan, 850 with 6 touchdowns. The injured squad, not a whole lot going on. Cobb obviously didn't end with anything because I pulled him off because he's obviously injured in real life now. And it's like medium level seriousness. Gary was pretty good at 12.5. Preston was pretty good at 9. Kenny Clark was pretty good at 9. Wyatt, 4.5. Interceptions, pretty low stuff, actually. Kicking Crosby, 11 for 16. I'm going to be honest, as long as the holds are well, I think Crosby's going to have a really good year this year. I mean, he's looking pretty sharp in the special teams department. I really think he is. And, of course, I don't think it's going to happen, but Rodgers apparently in this realm wins MVP for 3 straight years. And ironically enough, Coach of the Year is Mike McCarthy, but for the Cowboys. That's why we talked about wanting, I wanted that win more than anything. But looking at Players of the Year and Rookies of the Year and all that, Rodgers best quarterback, running back at number 6, DJ Moore at number 2, O-line at number 4, Elgton Jenkins, ironically enough, who we're probably going to have to lose unless the tag isn't like ridiculously high. Gary at number 2, Preston at number 9, DB not on the list, and then kicker definitely not on the list. Crosby was really bad in here. And I didn't even realize it at first, but Carolina Panthers. Okay. Interesting. Going up against the team that we took their wide receiver from. And why does Rodgers look like that? Rodgers looks like he just got scolded by his mom that he doesn't talk to. And she's like, go to your room right now, mister. And he's like, okay. I thought he was going to walk off. That would have been funny. Why don't they have his penguin haircut, by the way? Also, that face, and look at the spin. This is a AAA game. This game literally looks like some random dude made this game in his garage in 2 months' time. I suppose that timetable's not wrong. 2 months probably, but in their garage, not so much. 88 overall, 81 overall. All right, fair enough. It's a blizzard. At least actually the ground's not filled with snow. Man, I love snow games, though. I want to see a bunch of them. Sucks that global warming's going to completely take away all snow at some point, so that's going to be sucky, but let's get them in while we can, while the planet's not, completely on fire. I'm just going after everything today, screw it. How about those gas prices? Am I right? Anyways, let's see what happens in this blizzard. Carolina handling it all right as they're up 14-7. Green Bay with a chance to bounce back. It's now a 4-point game. Second half gives them an 11-point lead. And boy, would this be some storyline as Green Bay is struggling on offense, as, you know, was kind of the whole point of this thing, but has a chance to clutch up. Green Bay becoming clutch and getting the 2-point conversion. The most unrealistic thing I've seen in Madden 23 this year. And on 3rd and 10, I want to come in and see it. Not just because I want to be a part of this, like, stop, but I really just want to see the snow. And because Preston's going against a superstar, even though it's a Quanu, I'm going to try it. And, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Did he catch that? Who is that? Who actually caught that? I can't see their damn name. Oh, my. Baker, who's, like, I mean, barely even a starter at this point. Coaching we don't talk about. Who actually caught that, dude? Good old Chenault, a guy that Green Bay should have also traded for. Should have made that trade then and there, too. Because they got the ball first. Oh, crap, I shouldn't even be in here anymore. Oh, my. Stokes just gave up the touchdown, and they switched me to the wrong guy. And they scored to the guy they also don't have. God damn it. Well, oh, I forgot it's the playoffs. You can't just score a touchdown and win it. I forgot. Can the offense win it? I mean, it wouldn't be a win anyways. Oh, my. This is a pretty tough... Bro, were they about to just kick the game-losing field goal? And it's weird to say it like that, but it's factual. Lazard, yeah, that's who I would throw to in this situation. I guess I am. And he holds on! Look at Lazard! Oh, my. Ironically enough, the most clutch receiver on this Packers team. I came in and saved the day. If you get the touchdown, you gotta go for 2, right? Like, surely. You got it. You gotta go for 2, in my opinion. There's no way around it. I mean, does this look good? I don't know. I kind of want Lazard to run like a squiggle, even though you can't run routes. And there goes Christian Watson. The Packers win. I mean, you have to go for 2. I think as the first scoring team, I think they did the right thing. I don't think you can go for 2 there, but if you have the chance to go for the win, you do. Because otherwise, if you're going for 2 when you don't need it yet, and your defense is trying to make a stop anyways, I feel like you're just overthinking it, and you might just end up losing the game because of that. Whereas this, it's like you go for 2 and you can't be hated, right? Of course, both cornerbacks kind of went off. Christian McCaffrey did pretty well, whereas Aaron Jones really, really struggled receiving. Alan Lazard had himself a game. DJ Moore against his former team did really well as well. Looking at sack totals, a lot of sacks across the board. More in them, but in their favor by a little bit. Crosby was great, and we're headed to the divisional round. Man, please, Green Bay. Rodgers only has a couple more years, if that, to be honest. But 2 power move, a block shed, a bunch of upgrades actually for Kenny Clark, who is very important to this team, which still sucks on run defense even with him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Brady running for 4 yards per carry, not half bad. Which, speaking of not half bad, if you find this video to be not half bad, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Rain, quite the opposite of snow. I mean, really not opposite, actually, because they're, I mean, kind of, but, they're relatives. Water being, literally the same thing. Jesus. Sure you want to continue staying subscribed now? That's what I was going to look for. I was literally sitting there for like 3 minutes after that sim, and I was thinking, what am I looking for? And it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to see the number for DJ Moore, and I can't remember if he's actually wearing 14. I thought he was wearing like a single digit, no? 14-0. Tampa gets a turnover and turns it into 3, 17-3. Huge chance there, and they sold it. Man, both teams really just don't want to win, as Green Bay had a chance to score there too, and they sold it. Just like that, Green Bay choking. That's something we're a little more used to seeing. And with the clock dwindling, I think they choked. And the Packers are headed to the championship round, which they're almost certain to lose. Ah, yes, DJ Moore is wearing number 2. Of course, the 14s battling it out there, looking pretty decent. Able to hold on for the win. And Agbari with a sack. Levante and Winfield with picks. Devondre Campbell with a pick himself. But headed to the championship round. Well, the last Packers rebuild we did earlier in the year when the team was actually a little bit better and there was still a lot more promise, we made it to the championship round and lost it there. So, just saying. Of course, the team is overall worse than before. So, we'll see. This is obviously an improvement technically. Getting back to the same spot we did in the last rebuild, but with a worse team overall-wise, proves that DJ Moore is, a pretty big addition to this squad as Dallas instantly scores. I mean, that was like a 2-play touchdown drive. Can we not do that, please? 10-7. 10-7 still. 10-14. This would be a hell of a story, though. Come on. 17-14. Defense makes a play, but no score on offense. It's just looking in favor of Dallas right now. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's now a 3rd and 4. I think this is a massive 3rd and 4. I think this decides the game. This 3rd and 4, I think, is going to decide the game. And Devonte can't bring it down. I think they're going to win the game because of that 3rd and 4 conversion. I kid you not. Let's see if I'm right. A huge penalty. Devonte sells the coverage, and he sells a penalty. And they don't get the the first down or anything like that. So with, ironically enough, 27 seconds, the Packers have a chance to try and get in field goal range here, which is pretty eerie. Of course, Micah Parsons, and we're not even going to get that ball off. We barely will. Tanyan will turn it into a gain of about 6. 7 getting out of bounds there. Brought the running back blocker, but since running backs can't block in this game, didn't really do a whole lot for us. We can keep to the middle of the field, but it has to be quick, and it has to be for a lot of yards. So if we're hitting Lazard here, we need to get a ton of yards on this. And we're going to go with Watson anyways, who gets out of bounds to the 47. And he did get out of bounds. I was a little worried that maybe he didn't, but he definitely did. DJ Moore, we forgot to change his number again. And he doesn't throw it. He fumbles! And he can't advance it. The game's over. We lost. Did I sell again? Did I drop back too far? Here's the normal. Well, I didn't drop back too far. This is the normal drop. You can see the stop right here. This is the stop. And then I step back too far again. Could have taken Tanyan right away, but I was waiting for, DJ Moore. And, of course, we have the double over there. And, Aaron Jones is like, well, do we, though? And Micah Parsons wins them the game. We lost the championship round in 2 Season 1 Packer rebuilds so far. That is disgusting. The real question is, are we going to actually keep Rodgers this time? Because last time we lost him, Romeo Dobbs with a really, really good game. And, I mean, everyone else was pretty much just like, 30, 40 yards here or there. Micah Parsons literally carrying their defense. Devonte with a pick, but also Devonte with a huge penalty that gave them the yards in the first place for their field goal drive. Cowboys win the Super Bowl over the Bengals by 1. Our DevOps has DJ Moore as a X factor now, which is pretty damn insane. Dobbs doesn't go up in overall. None of the linemen go up in overall. Defensively, Gary gets to a superstar. Kenny Clark gets to X factor. And I believe that to be the only DevOps. Stokes had a breakout earlier in the season, but he absolutely sold that. Didn't get it completed, unfortunately. And, that's pretty much that. And the moment of truth, if he retires again, dude. Oh my god, with this game, dude. It's literally coded for him to physically retire. And you want to know why I know they did that? I dropped him to age 33 before that sim. Come on, EA. Make a real game, would you? And it's like, oh, well, he might actually retire. It's like, yeah, but doesn't he have to pay back a crazy amount in guarantees? Like, at this point, with the contract that he signed, like, I don't even think he cares anymore if the team actually went into rebuild mode. He would literally just take it and just run with it. Like, he wouldn't even care. He would just be like, screw it, I'll just play for this crap team, make that last couple of bucks, and go away once the guarantees run. So I've brought back a faux Rodgers. I've made my own Rodgers here because that's kind of the whole point. At this point, I don't think it's literally possible for Rodgers to retire in 2023 without having to pay back quite a bit of money, and the Packers definitely can't move on without him. And I also gave him 2 years left because as far as a Packers standpoint, it's also very unlikely that he'll be gone in 2024 based on them wanting him to be gone, as he literally carries another $34 million in dead hit money. After that, though, they definitely can, and that is when I would expect him to be gone, and that's when we will have him gone if he once again doesn't retire for like the 50th time. This offensive line is really bad. It's in a really bad spot, but he at least has some weapons now to throw to, as Dobbs is a little bit better now after playing a full season as a rookie, and then obviously DJ Moore is now an X factor in the 90s, or very close to 90 anyways. The defense is still okay. It's just, will we have the money to re-sign Gary? Probably not. Probably not. He's going to be asking for a lot of money, and we're going to not be able to afford him. And we also got rid of that first-round pick, getting a wide receiver. So I can see why, in real life, the Packers are a little hesitant to bring in new talent because they're in a bad spot. Rodgers doesn't help them. David Bakhtiari doesn't help them. A lot of these contracts are not helping the front office right now. And, I mean, the players themselves, specifically Rodgers, does have a lot to blame for it. And I will say the front office not developing wide receivers through the draft properly is also a huge blame. But as far as, like, making a trade like a lot of these other teams do or have, they just don't have the room to do that. Maybe we can trade Jordan Love for like a 5th in the draft pick, maybe 4th at best from a team that's really desperate that isn't going to be able to draft one of those top tier quarterbacks. That's like the best case, but we cannot afford to tag Jordan Love and then tag him again probably. Like we can't do it. Aaron Rodgers is the guy for now, and well, it is what it is. And we're going to make that trade. The Colts are going to get Jordan Love for pick 125. All right, so of course, no first round pick from us. Going to be going to the next round. We may make a trade up for a safety, but there's no guarantees on that. We do need a safety bad. And, worst comes worst, Tariq Carpenter's our guy, I guess, but definitely use a safety. And there's a couple near the end of the second round here that we may make a play for. More issues. This is interesting. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here. Interesting. I don't even know what's happening. The draft is so cooked up right now. It is literally glitching between the first round and the second round constantly. Bro, like, what do I actually do? Like, why is this game so bad, dude? This is so cooked. It's unbelievable, bro. It is so cooked. It's going back, forward. What pick are we on? Round 2, pick 3. Is that real? Hello? Now it's round 2, pick 28. I just want to do my rebuild. Please. Now it's round 2, pick 6. Round 2, pick 28. I'm just going to go to next user pick. I might have to just sim the draft and just whatever happens. I have my board set. It is what I'm just going to the end of the draft. I don't even know if it's going to work. To be honest, I don't even know if it's going to work. This is cooked up. I would have preferred the other way. The other way of drafting was fine because all you had to do is just play on. As long as you do the draft and then, get past the preseason, your draft wouldn't reset. This is literally like, I don't even know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. We're back to 20. Our pick is up. Bruh. I might have saved it. I might have saved it. Sim in the draft. We'll see what the team grabs. We're probably going to have multiple wide receivers, which is going to just be great. I love it. I had a second and a 4th round wide receiver on the list. I don't know. Probably would have ended up taking that wide receiver. Yep, pick 30. We got ourselves a wide receiver. Got ourselves a tight end in round 3. We got this guy. In fairness, I did want Windman, in fairness. Carter, a running back, and then a kicker. Fun stuff. I like that. That was interesting. I don't even think I had a running back on my list. I don't even remember scouting a running back or putting him on the list. But okay, if this didn't happen, I would have ended up going with a safety here. This pick would have been a lineman. This actually probably would have been Windman's, in fairness. This pick would have probably been Billingsley. And instead, we got ourselves a 4th round fullback, baby. Let's go. So, Joseph went at 29. I would have had, what's his name, Catalan there at 30. Oh, he's hidden. Nice. Can I actually just trade for him? Y'all need a wide receiver. They really don't, but I don't want Cornelius Johnson. I need Catalan. Fair enough. I'm willing to do the trade straight up. I'm going to try to fix this draft if I can. So a lot of my tackles actually were gone, but I had, Gilbert's on the list, but I wouldn't have taken him at 30. I would have definitely went Torrance if he would have been there, or Patterson. I don't remember what we need a guard more technically, so I would go Torrance, and he is hidden on this. So I'm going to try to trade Amik to them, or Eric Gilbert, which they're just not going to take. That's unfortunate. Oh, never mind. We're back in time. Sweet! All right, so good thing is I left it for a day, and it kind of fixed itself, thankfully. As this is what the roster is going to be looking like, I ended up swapping over players that we were going to be drafting, and I think it was all fair. I ended up getting Billingsley, Torrance. We obviously got rid of Johnson. As far as the defense goes, we got Catalan, and Windman we kept. So I think that was all fair. We also kept the fullback because he would have obviously been like a 7th-round player, whereas because of our, having a sim thing, he was taken in the 4th round by us, so a little bit of an L there. But overall, everything has been made right, and I think it's all fair because this is what we would have drafted. And, as far as our normal drafts would go, we would have definitely landed more than that. So even if anything, it was unfair because it still hurt us in the long run. I completely forgot that Slayton's even a starter for us. Although in real life, I will say there's some promise. He was getting into the backfield a bit, and he was kind of impressive. So you never know. But yeah, a little surprised to have him here as a starter still. But got rid of that 1st-round pick, and we had so many things to replace because we're broke as hell, and we're still broke as hell. And yeah, if we're lucky, we'll keep Rashawn Gary, as he's probably going to be wanting nearly 30 per. And based on the way he's playing in real life, kind of pretty damn close to deserving it. We're having a pretty damn good season, but then I look at how much we have to pay guys like Rashawn Gary, and I'm no longer happy. Although, he accepts a 5-year 110, which is about 22 per, giving us $8 million left to work with, and while Savage hasn't been amazing, if his ratings are as good as I think they might be, I think we're probably going to keep him around. We can actually afford to keep him, and I don't hate that. I don't hate that. A 3-year 22, which leaves us with $1.1 million. Wow, we're broke. But you know what? Other than Dylan, who is a running back, we kept the whole team. Oh, Runyon. Oh, well. But a pretty good start to the season. Started to waver a little bit, but the division has been terrible, so we will hold on to a playoff spot at 10-7. Of course, fake Rodgers, is in full effect. Wow, we really did lose a lot. We lost 5 of the last 6 games. Not exactly the streak you wanted to have. However, you look at the quality of opponents. We obviously beat the Buccaneers by quite a bit, but the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Rams, Broncos, Raiders, and the Falcons, obviously really good offense there. It's not an easy group of games to be playing against teams, and we obviously kind of got beat around hard. Yeah, we got beat real hard. Rodgers, over 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Picks are a little high, but overall, pretty much the same as last year. Dylan with a bunch of touchdowns. Jones with a bunch of touchdowns. Jones pretty much had the same exact season as last year. DJ Moore with a ton of yards. Romeo Dobbs, pretty good season. Watson, not bad. Billingsley, pretty good. Could go to star. Blocking was actually really bad, especially from David Bakhtiari, who is probably the highest rated left tackle in the game. 3rd rate. Well, really? Okay. That's a little surprising. Let's take a look at the sacks. Rashawn Gary got paid, and then he sold. He's still pretty good. 6.5 from Preston. It is Preston at this point. Jair with 3 interceptions. Nothing crazy on defense. The rookie kicker was trash. Pat O'Donnell was pretty good again. Kick return game was all right. Punt return game, about as well you expect in Green Bay. Special teams, just not the thing. Stroud, a bear, fair enough. What about players of the year anyways? Anything at all? No? Maybe we were close on a couple, but as far as actually winning, we won 0. But here we go. Wow, Brady's still around, and he's a Falcon. Okay, one of Rodgers' last seasons. Let's try not to waste it. All right, going to the end of the game, and we are seeing a little bit of a struggle early on, but the Falcons starting to really put up some points here. 13-3, 20-3, 27-3. Still 27-3, and that's going to be a GG. 34-3. Wow, what a good game between, two teams where one, wearing green, is a much higher overall, but still gets destroyed. Sweet. Aaron Rodgers looking absolutely horrible here. Brady looking pretty good. Running, nobody did well. Receiving, definitely not us, I'll tell you that much. Sack totals, not terrible. Interceptions, they had 2. Kicking was, the way it was. Wow, that was a fun game experience. I would recommend that 100 times over, obviously. 5 out of 5. All right, the Buccaneers and the Bengals playing off against each other, and the winner of this one is the Bengies. Let's take a look at the potential dev ups that we had. And Billingsley did go to star, Dobbs did not go up, and we did have Rodgers as an X factor, right? I had his age a little bit down because, like I said, I imagine, at least in this, universe here, that he will be a guy that stays around one more season. I don't know why I said this universe. In real life, he'd be a guy that stays around one more season and then probably hangs it up as, the guarantees are kind of gone at that point. And if Rodgers isn't up to crazy great level play, Green Bay would probably move on in general. But looking at the defensive side of things, I don't think we had a single dev up. I also think Windman should probably start. I don't know if we can get rid of Preston. Really? Green Bay with the sell, dude. I get it. Re-signing him, extending him, allowed for the cap room to be better this season. But, man, to put that much into Preston Smith is a little bit of an L, dude. We're, literally stuck with him for life. We also have quite a bit more money than we did a little bit ago. Kind of thinking A.J. Dillon could get a contract here. I'm going to offer him a 3-year 18. Glad to get it done. I mean, that's a little bit of money for a team, for a backup, but the Green Bay needs those dual backs, and I like it. Pat O'Donnell, I don't know what his ratings are looking like, but he's actually been really good ever since joining this team, and he's still pretty good. I mean, if he's willing to take a 1-year 2.4, I'd do it. There we go. Fair enough. So 14 mil left. Probably not going to spend any money in free agency. Want to make sure that we can afford any other player we have to sign in real life here, or from real life anyways. And it could be a lot. Oh, David Bakhtiari's contract's almost about to be up. Thank God. Kenny Clark's going to be a little expensive. Rodgers, that tag or that cap hit is pretty correct. So once his contract's up, I'm probably going to have to adjust it for real life. Aaron Jones needs a contract. But, I mean, these are a lot of contracts that, would benefit us. Where we actually save some money, not having to pay them their real-life counterpart. We trade Rasul Douglas to the Patriots for a 5th-round pick, which might be a little high, but when you consider you consider the group of corners they have right now, I mean, it's not that bad. That does save us a bit of money, about 7.5 mil, so that's pretty good. As far as what we need to grab in the draft, I think O-line is the number one need. Royce Newman, Sean Ryan, I just can't have those guys starting. Hell, even Zach Tom probably shouldn't be starting at this point. Low strength. Good finesse blocking, in fairness, though. So maybe. He's not great, but at the same time, David Bakhtiari gave up 14 sacks. So what can you do there? I really do believe in Dobbs, at least, as a wide receiver. But if there's someone at wide receiver, maybe that's where we go. Everyone else, I think, is fine for now. And then defense. Slayton's not bad, but 26 years old, can that really work out? I don't think so. So, really the trenches. That's really what we're going to be looking at, is upgrading the trenches the most. All right, so I was still kind of in, no first-round pick mode when scouting, so we're going to be trading for 35 from Miami and gaining that 2nd round and 5th round next year, which I think is a fair trade for both. Some of the trade offers are a bit busted, though, so I had to ignore those, sadly. But let's see what the Dolphins do, and they take a linebacker, another outside linebacker, Taylor. And with this pick, I think we might actually go DT, because there's not a whole lot of options at DT. And, oh, wow, Hilaire's still there. I was kind of interested in him in fairness, but do not know the block shed from Manny Copeland, but pretty damn athletic, strong enough. And like I said, the best option with that A play reg, B awareness, A finesse, B tackle. Hoping the block shed C. I think it's kind of guaranteed to be C, though. I've never seen, an 82 finesse, 57 block shed player, so that's what we're hoping for. And we got ourselves a hidden dev player at least, so athletic, strong, and hidden. We're going to be trading with the Bears, getting 72 and 104 to move back, well, from 21. And with the pick, we're going to be ended up taking some sort of lineman. I don't know which one. There's a bunch of different players. Ooh, linebacker's actually pretty sick too. Alfonso Green. I might even take Cordell Sampson. I thought he was day 3. But decently athletic. Probably going to pass on him, though. Just too raw. This lineman, I think, is definitely the best bet. He just looks, I mean, he's good across the board, it seems like, you know. So we're going to be going with Gerald Hargrove, who is hidden development trade. Got to pay attention to how many linemen we need, because there are a lot of guys that we have that are kind of young and still developable. But at the same time, there's a lot of guys like normal dev on this line, so it'd be nice to replace a lot of them with hiddens if we could, especially if potentially we're going to be letting go of David Bakhtiari, because we had to pay DJ Moore this season, I think, so we got to be able to save some money. But Myers is okay. I mean, I'd like to replace, honestly, all 3 of these guys if I could, so I might be looking to make plays on most of those players we have, those offensive linemen. And like I said, it would be nice to get a corner, but I think the defense is fine. It's so tempting, though, because like the A and the 2 A's for his coverage is pretty misleading. And his athleticism isn't crazy good. This guy gives me one of those vibes where he's like a 6th-round guy that's just like, you know, disguised as someone that's better, you know? We're going to take Derek Banks, who, of course, is a 2-3 projection guy, 6'4", 21 years old. Looks a little iffy in the run block, I will admit, but really good pass blocking. And these types of players, even though they do suck at run block, usually are hidden, so I'm going to grab him. Ooh, that could be a really bad pick, actually. Oh, wow. Normal dev with, like, D's across the board from run. Oh, he kind of sucks. Might as well give another running offensive lineman a go. More rough run block, but a little bit better than the other guy at least. And here he is, Ben Mullen. And he's hidden at least. So we landed 2 potential starting linemen. And whatever that normal guy is going to be, I don't even know. He looks pretty rough. Getting a 4th round next year from the Jets for this pick, which isn't like the biggest win in the world, but didn't really have anyone for this year anyways, so it doesn't really matter. All right, we grabbed a fast wide receiver in the late 5th round. 6 foot tall, 179 pounds, 96 speed, 97 excel. Didn't even have him on my list. I had 2 other guys that both went, and I ended up just grabbing the fastest guy available, and he actually doesn't look too bad. And it's a 96 kick power. Of course, he's old as hell, but when I see elite kick power, that's all that matters. I don't even care if they're like 35 years old. Ironically enough, the Browns up showing up is like, yeah, we don't either. Remember Whedon? We don't discriminate. We also don't draft quarterback too well. Of course, this is what the overalls look like. Copeland, 73 overall, 74, 72, 71. This is the guy that was normal dev. It probably won't be anybody for us, but like I said, he's a very good pass blocker. I mean, if he was hidden dev, we could work with that trash run blocking, but he's not, so we're not going to. I guess we'll quick look at the devs. How good was Hargrove? Pretty damn good. He's a lot better than the other guy. Man, that face. That is an old man. That is an old young man. Star dev. I'd imagine they're all going to be, you know, star development trade, or that's it. Star or less. Which obviously we don't care about less because we already know what, you know, those guys are, because they're obviously normal dev. We're going to look at whoever the best lineman is, potentially adding on to the idea of how long they're going to be on the roster without needing a re-sign, which I think they might all be around the same age anyways, and decide from there who gets to start. The Jaguars, with a 67 overall center, are going to be trading a 3rd-round pick, a late projected, for Josh Myers and Royce Newman. Josh Myers isn't bad. He's 79 overall. He's probably our best lineman interior-wise, but as far as, you know, youthful goes and having to re-sign him, that's a little bit of a different story, and we obviously have a couple of hit-ins here. So Hargrove will be starting, with Torrance starting left guard, and then Zach Tom is the guy that's going to be the long-term starter. He's shown a lot with that finesse blocking, which of course is what you need as a tackle. Strength's a little low, but it is what it is. That's what we're going to be rocking with. All right, Season 3, potentially the last season for Rodgers. This is the year where, you know, like I said, after this, he could retire, and I'm going to put him at 40 years old, which I think he would be 41 in real life. So we're going to have him at 40. If he retires, he retires. If he doesn't, we adjust his contract to real life. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I did adjust this one. His cap hit would be around 36 this year, so that's what we're paying him. And yeah, this is what the rest of the squad looks like. As usual, though, with a Green Bay kind of, team building, wide receivers 2, 3, and all that, not super great, but I suppose having Dobbs and Watson is still way better than anything Green Bay's had as the number 2 and 3s for years now. O-line, there's youth and there's potential, but they are definitely a unit that's going to be struggling early on. Billingsley still has a long way to go defensively. There's some positives here. I'm surprised Devondre is still really good, but Windman is going to be the new starting outside linebacker as Preston is kind of built a little bit more for a, kind of rotation anyways, whereas Windman is a bit younger and, of course, literally the exact same for his finesse as Preston does have for his power move. Where did this money come from? 100? Is that glitch? Oh, it's not glitch. We have a bunch of players to pay, actually. And there's probably even more than that. I mean, even then, though, that still seems like really cheap, right? I'm gonna do Rodgers' contract up for 2 more years and then make him 40, like I said, and we're gonna see what happens. We ended up giving David Bakhtiari a 2-year 52, which is 26 mil per, which compared to what he's making in real life is pretty much cheap. A 3-year come on, Aaron Jones, please. He's asking for like a little under 10 per, and I'm probably willing to pay that anyways. 31 or 32. I'd rather just knock this out, give him a 4-year 98, which is about 22 per, just like Rashawn Gary. So no one can really complain about that. Stokes, I think, is a guy that is just good enough to get a contract here, and I'm going to be giving him a 4-year 36. Welcome back, 74 mil. So Aaron Jones is about 10 mil per year. Rodgers is probably about, I don't even know, his cap hit might be about 50 something. So we can afford everyone, which is lovely to see. This could be a bye week. This is the best chance. This is Rodgers' potential last chance. This would be a season where Green Bay would say, after the season at least, even if, we've had a really good run, Green Bay would be like, you know what, Rodgers, do you mind maybe, I don't know, taking a bit of a pay cut, You understand we can trade you. You understand you could retire. We could release you, whatever. And nobody would really be tied down. But do you want to try to get that ring with us? Another one? Do you really want to? Dobbs with a pretty good season. If you do, maybe just, knock a couple of mil off. A couple mils. Gary with 12. Clark with 10.5. Windman with, 4.5. Don't even see where Preston 1 sack, even though he was, backup at every position. McLean was a little bit better, but man, we need a new kicker. Punter's great, but he's kind of on that retirement path at this point. I don't think anyone on this team would have been even close to an award win, other than like I was about to say, maybe Copeland, but outside of that, not even close. This is Rodgers' worst season with us even. This could be it. This could literally be it. This could be his last chance at a Super Bowl win, and we have a bye week. I don't know what else you could ask for. And you get to play the Bears. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a different team because you have Stroud, but still, it's the Bears at the end of the day. They also have Nick Bosa. Nice. Oh, what is this? This is the perfect freaking game, dude. This is insane. Come on, Green Bay. Nice. Defense stops. We get a touchdown out the gate. We come back with a really long drive. It's so weird. It might just be coincidence, but it seems like the really big snowy games are the games where the most scoring gets done. I don't understand how that's possible, but it just seems to be the way. Defense is trying, but offense, well, I guess I wouldn't even say offense. Like, offense is struggling, but their offense, huge drive. We get a touchdown and a 2-point. Chicago needs to clutch up, and they will not do it. And we will be headed to the championship round, beating the Bears on the way in a snowy game. Could you have asked for a better one? I mean, that was a really good game. Rodgers finally wakes up in the playoffs. Stroud gets beat hard. Montgomery with a really good run for how long was it? Yeah, 99 yards. Yeah, of course, David Montgomery could pull that off. I'm sure of it. Robbie Anderson is a Bear. Sack totals. Rashawn Gary comes up clutch. They have Trayvon Diggs, too. Oh, my. For us to be where we are without signing any big name in free agency is pretty crazy. When are we going to have to re-sign DJ Moore, though? Did they re-sign him in real life or something and I just completely forgot? And that's why I don't go possession. I did possession upgrade because it was going to give him a scheme fit, but wow, that was bad. But here we are, championship round. Who is it against? The Falcons. Another playoff blizzard. We're going to click it this time, but we got smoked by the Falcons last time, but I can't imagine Brady's still there. I just can't imagine it. Jonathan Taylor is, though. I don't see Brady, but Taylor is apparently. All right, here it is. Winner goes to the Super Bowl facing off against the Bengals. God wants us to win. He brought the snow for the second straight week. We're now down by 7. It's a pretty close game across the board, and it'll be 13 all at halftime. Up by 7, tied back up. Up by 7, up by 14, only up by 7, but with an amazing long game-ending drive, we will win by 7, headed to the Super Bowl. Take a look at how those numbers looked, and Rodgers definitely played better. 54 passes in the snow. That's good coaching right there. I'll tell you what. Aaron Jones was a little bit better this week. Jonathan Taylor with 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore was his pretty damn good player. Dobbs did pretty well, and Watson was decent. We got a lot of things from a lot of different players. The $44 million men actually ended up making plays. Jair and Devondre Campbell with picks. Deshaun Elliott with a pick, and McClain, who's been really bad in the regular season. He missed one there, but it's literal freaking blizzard, dude. What do you even get for the blizzard? I can't remember. It was I think it's 2,500 XP and 5 staff points or something. 2,500 XP. 5 staff points. Exactly that, believe it or not. Super Bowl, the Bengals. Let's take a look at our potential dev-ups, if we even had any. And we did not have one for Dobbs, which is a little surprising. DJ Moore is a 98 overall now. He's kind of earned it. He's played really well. No dev-ups for anyone, not even Stokes. Stokes is just the unluckiest player in Madden, I swear. He never goes up in dev. I've never seen him go to Superstar or X Factor, ever. I don't understand. It just makes no sense to me. But let's do our media day and take on these Bengals. Let's go with everything. Why not? Can't say just the beginning because win or lose, it's probably the end. Rodgers is probably going to retire. 88 overall to their 89. Oh, this is tough. They got the big 3 still intact as well. The Super Bowl could not bring the snow with us this time. We get the ball first. It's technically another home game, though, so it's still kind of keeping the ritual, if you will. Wow, we gave the ball away instantly, gave up a touchdown. We did stop them there. Huge rushing touchdown for probably Joe Mixon. Down 21 points right before half. Going to be a 7-point deficit. Defense is doing its damnedest. Down by 8. Offense ties it up. Man, no defenses, really, technically. And wow, they really put on a drive. But they gave us just enough time to win the game, did we? I want to see it. 3rd and inches. This is crazy. A field goal wins this game. A field goal wins the damn game. Copeland's probably the worst player on this D-line, so I'm going to user him while we watch. Inside. That's not a bad play. It's going to set up a chance at a field goal because they can... Oh, they're going to go for a Hail Mary. Well, never mind. They had a chance to get maybe 15 yards with 7 seconds left to try and kick a field goal, but instead they're going to go for the Hail Mary. I don't even know if Joe's got the arm to get this there, and barely get a hand up in there, and I think that might have even been us. If that was us, that would have been insane. Oh, I thought there was extra time. There wasn't. It's over. Green Bay wins another Super Bowl. Wow, I get to wake up now because this is obviously a dream. It's when someone in a comment section on Twitter or something like that, some fan of a team that's just nowhere near ready for a Super Bowl win, they're like, yeah, we're winning the league this year. And it's yeah, maybe in Madden. This is what they mean. Even as a Packers fan, this is what they mean. Physically, literally. I forgot to change DJ Moore's number. Literally, when I was starting this freaking second part of this rebuild, because obviously I left it because the draft was glitched, I was like, make sure you change his number. Make sure you change his number. Make sure you change his number. And, of course, I forgot to change his number. Lovely stuff, but faux Rodgers with another Super Bowl ring. Still far from being called the GOAT, if you will. And even then, I'm going to be honest, I feel like Rodgers is going to be forgotten really soon in the NFL world just because of guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen. They're doing things that, it's what made Rodgers the name he is now. Wow, 3 interceptions in the Super Bowl, really? Talk about choking. But yeah, I mean, the things they're doing now is what made him famous in the first place. You know, is thought of that no one would ever be able to do what he's doing, and now it's like almost a common thing, right? You know, there's a lot of quarterbacks doing that. So I'm just saying, even as a Packers fan, I feel like maybe he might be forgotten at some point in the next like 10 years or so. That's why he needs to get these ring totals up. 181 yards with a touchdown, but at the same time, what's his focus? You know, he's got a lot of MVPs. I guess, to be fair, the MVPs thing probably keeps him, you know, relevant for a long time. But, you know, what's his focus? And it kind of seems like it's money. I don't know. Now I'm curious to see if Rodgers is going to retire here. And it would be kind of fitting if he did. It'd be perfect. But at the same time, like I said, if you want to really solidify yourself, you know, you win several rings, but it's a lot to ask for, in fairness. Did we lose him? Did we lose him? We did not, actually. He's still here, but at this point, what even is his overall? Like, he really doesn't deserve to be higher overall. 83. I mean, there's literally no point. Like, there's literally no point. He'd be higher of an overall, or older anyways. His overall is, like, low, but his ratings are still really good. I'm not sure how that goes. I guess 87 medium, 88 short, 86 deep, 85 awareness. I mean, it's not it's good. It's not crazy good, but that's all I wanted to see. I just want to see if we could actually win another Super Bowl for the Packers in real life with the current roster they had, but also adding in a guy like DJ Moore, who is apparently on the block, I suppose. Oh, nice speed upgrade. Sheesh. Let's take a look at the ratings of these players. DJ Moore, who is a 98 overall. Very good. I mean, this is the kind of player the Green Bay Packers are missing. A guy with some speed. He can run some routes, and he can catch. I mean, it's obviously, who doesn't need a player like that? But specifically the route running thing, Green Bay really needs. Aaron Jones, 95 overall. You know, he's a really good do-it-all back. Dylan, he didn't really upgrade that much. 86 overall. Let's see what his trucking is. 92 trucking. That's pretty filth. Let's take a look at Romeo Doubs. Let's take a look. He got that speed upgrade. He's 94 speed, 90 excel, or 96 excel, which is insane. Short route is what they need him to develop really bad, but I suppose medium and deep for him, I guess, does make a lot of sense. It's kind of what he's expected to be good at. Release is okay. His catching is good enough. He's a pretty good player, and he's still pretty damn young, so fair enough, actually. So, you know, the receiving group actually did do pretty well. Like, they ended up actually being pretty good. And then vertical threat, which is miles better. And a speed upgrade, miles better than possession upgrades. Catching's iffy, but he's a really good route runner, which I suppose I would always take, even though he's a tight end, over anything. Offensive line, let's take a look at Zach Tom. Once again, that finesse should be insane because he's just been upgrading that hardcore. Yeah, I mean, he's a really good finesse blocker. Really solid finesse blocker, which, of course, as a tackle, that's kind of your main focus. What else do we have? Let's take a look at David Bakhtiari, see how much he's regressed, if any. Run block is still iffy as hell, but insane pass block, obviously. Let's take a look at Torrance. He never really developed that high, but 83 overall, still really good. Another really good pass blocker. This team obviously loves their passing, and they kind of got back to that. Devondre Campbell, still a pretty good overall. For 32 years old, never got past star dev. Still a really good overall, which is a little surprising, to be honest. What else do we have? Let's take a look at Rashawn Gary, I suppose, even though he starts off as a pretty high overall. 97 overall, 97 power move, 76 block shed. I would have thought even a little bit better than this, but as far as like a pure power guy goes, with the tackling, with the pursuit, the play rec, the awareness, strength, and the speed and all that, he is really, really good, obviously, but would have loved to see him develop his run blocking, or his, run block beating, and maybe his finesse as well wouldn't have hurt. But Quay Walker, guy we haven't talked about at all in this, but 83 overall, very good block shedding, actually, and his coverage is good enough. I mean, I would love for him to be this good in real life, because that's actually pretty good. You'd get your value back on that pick if that's what he develops into, but right now he looks absolutely lost. Savage, let's actually upgrade him real quick. He's a guy that's really on the cusp of being let go in real life. I just don't know if I see him sticking around in Green Bay. Green Bay might need brand new safeties coming up completely, which is a little bit of an L, but, is what it is. Devonte Wyatt, 89 finesse move. I would just love to see him see the field at this rate. You drafted a 23, 24-year-old D lineman. How is he not ready? Like, put him out there. What the hell's going on here? Just start him. I don't even know. Jair Alexander, that's just insane. If your D-line, your run defense sucks, I can't imagine, even though he's not really the greatest block shedder, he is a little bit more of a, quarterback attacker, if you will, pass rusher. I mean, I can't imagine him being out there is going to be any worse. I don't really understand, like maybe it would be. Maybe I haven't seen the worst of it. Jalen, he's pretty much, a better Savage already, and he's younger. Obviously has more potential. And then I guess we'll look at Mr. Kenny Clark for the final player, who normally doesn't develop as a good pass, rusher. Normally he's like 98 finesse or 98 block shed with like 84 power, but got to 90 power move. He's really well developed here. He's insane, actually. So that is going to be it for our realistic style rebuild of the Green Bay Packers. I can't imagine, other than using their base team for maybe a fantasy draft rebuild, that will do them again this season. I think that's pretty much it, unless they make a crazy trade for a different type of player. Maybe it's not DJ Moore, like they end up trading for, I don't freaking know, it's someone else. I can't imagine I'll do a rebuild of them, though. Like, if it's the same position, but at like a lower tier, like if they end up going Claypool, I'm not going to do a rebuild for them. If they go for someone like an offensive line, I'm not going to do a rebuild for them. But if they end up trading for like an even better wide receiver than DJ Moore, somehow, I don't know how they would pull that off because the cap room just isn't there. Or they go for some sort of defender like a crazy DT, maybe. But this will probably be the last time you see us doing a rebuild of the Packers this season. So I apologize if you're sick of them, but we're done. Okay, we're done. Next rebuild, I'm not sure. Normally, or I'm trying to at least, on the weekends, do like challenge rebuilds. So if you have an idea for that, let me know in the comment section below. I always have ideas, but it's nice to hear new ideas as well. And I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments. I've fallen behind a little bit on a lot of the videos, maybe like 6 videos worth. So I'm trying to catch up on those, and I will shortly. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, Pkr Plays. And the last thing you can do is let me know what you guys think. Are the Packers going to turn it around? Do you think they need to trade for a wide receiver? Do you think they're done? I mean, honestly, the way they've been playing, it could be a case. It's tough because the Jets and the Giants have actually looked decent this year. I still think the Giants are frauds. I still think they're going to be a team that finishes under 500, even though they're coached really well, and you got to give them credit for the effort they've put on. But the way Green Bay played against the Patriots, the way they played against the Buccaneers, who are also struggling and didn't have any of their wide receivers, it just looks like a team that isn't going to be able to do it. The Bears' passing attack right now, it doesn't exist. Yet, again, Green Bay giving up massive yards in the run game. And even though they did win, there was still chances for Chicago to come back and win that game. And obviously we know about the Vikings smoking them. So I don't know, dude. I think a lot of the Packers fans, like me, obviously, thought early on it was going to be a struggle fest. And, because you have so many youngsters trying to come in there. But they would figure it out. They would still find ways to win and all that, or at least look competitive. That just hasn't been the case, and it's many weeks into the league now, so I don't know. And I still think even if they traded for a guy like DJ Moore, who's also struggled, I don't even know if that's enough. And of course, that's a lot of risk to trade for DJ Moore, because that's at minimum a second-round pick, probably a first-round pick, especially with the way wide receivers are valued now. I don't know. I honestly think if Green Bay can't get something out of their offensive line, which has been the biggest struggle this year, even more than the run defense, if they can't move around their line, like I said, Elton at left guard, maybe put him at right guard, move John Runyon over to right guard, Yash at right tackle. If they don't change the lineup somehow, or they don't get this offensive line fixed, I think it's a GG for Green Bay. And is it the worst thing? I don't know. I think, once again, just like the Jordan Love pick, Green Bay's in a bad spot to take QB, because unless Rodgers decides to retire, and I'm not sure how that works. I thought I heard something about, he's actually able to keep a lot of the money. I don't know how that works. It seems like to me, if you retire with a guaranteed bonus, shouldn't you have to pay that back? I don't understand how that works. I don't really pay attention to that too much because there's a lot of different rules and whatnot. But I thought, the way I heard it, that he could retire and he keeps a lot of the money. I don't know how that would make any sense. I don't know if the Green Bay Packers are that whipped by Rodgers that they would agree to something like that. But I would be under the idea that if you don't play, obviously your guarantees, they come back, right? Like that's what I would think. But this would be the bad time to draft a quarterback. So even if Green Bay ended up becoming one of those top 5 teams, I don't even know if you can take quarterback, because you're going to have to sit him for a while Rodgers' contract, kind of dissolves on itself. I don't know. It's this team. this is last year, the year before, and this year is supposed to be their years, right? They're kind of all in, if you will, cap-wise. I don't know. This is a bad time. This is a bad time to be a Packers fan. The stock is low here, but a lot of season left. Really trash division. Even the Vikings are finding ways to win, and they're 5-1. But, man, they got to do something quick. Could it be DJ Moore? I don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video,